My character is Lida, and she is Fedra's maidservant and the washerwoman at the asylum. So she's a lower status character, and yeah, so she's used to the slavery of scrubbing floors and people's clothes and dressing Fedra in her finery. So the whole whirlwind of falling in love is very different to the routine that she's used to. So she gets swept away by romance and sort of loses her sense of place, and towards the end her sense of identity, which is really moving. But that was Emma. But you know, the characters, she's a lovely character, very spirited and fun. In this play, biggest acting challenge, probably just maintaining the energy and because there's such a need for high energy for this. There's a heightened sense of theatricality with this kind of text. I think probably just maintaining the technique that's needed whilst yelling at somebody, calling them a frigid bitch and all of that, you know, because emotions run high, and just not losing the technique. So that was probably the biggest acting challenge. It was very good fun, so that was probably the hardest. The technical kind of requirements, keeping on top of those whilst things were getting a bit crazy. Well, I did a lot of research because I personally benefit more from visual sort of research. So I looked at a lot of paintings of the period. I looked at a lot of Velázquez's paintings. I looked at found a lot of stuff on the pictures of the asylum. Matthew went to Valencia over the summer, so he'd taken a lot. There were a lot on the internet, so I could really visualise the world. And I mean, if it counts as research, I did a lot of relationship work with Kate, which was very useful. Yeah, for me it was visual. I needed to kind of know what everything was going to look like around me, and sort of that really helped to kind of create a world, especially when we're in a black box space. But just a lot of stuff on so I knew kind of what I would have been doing on a day-to-day basis, because kind of the play was more of an out of the ordinary day in the life of Lida, whereas I kind of had to fill in what would have been the kind of day-to-day routine, which is why this is so wonderful and extraordinary, because it's so different from kind of the boring day-to-day. So it was a lot of paintings, a lot of photos, anything I could find on the kind of what a sort of 16th century maidservant would have done, which is quite not necessarily easy to find, but anything like that I looked into a lot of. And I also looked at similar characters, so I looked a lot at I read Servants to Masters as well, because there's a great servant character in that whose name escapes, which is always very convenient, who's very similar. And we went to see a Lady of Little Sense in Bath, another Spanish Golden Age play, and there was a servant in that called Clara, who was Welsh, which was where I got the inspiration to do a Welsh accent. And she was very similar. So just looking at the relationships and the physicality was very useful, and also just having a lot of fun with it as well, very important.